All right, so we are going to do the homework math one, linear relationships, okay? So that means that we're going to be writing these in slope intercept form. We're going to read the word problem and we're going to write the equation for the word problem. Remember the slope intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where the m is the slope and your b is your starting amount or your y-intercept. So let's look at number two. Number one is already done for you. It says Camden purchased 9 pounds of potatoes for $10.88. What is the cost for 1 pound of potatoes? So we got 9 pounds. Well, actually, the total amount is $10.88. Okay, for 9 of them. Okay, so we're going to divide. We have, type this in. You have $10.88 divided by 9 because it's 9 pounds. Each pound is about $1.21. We're going to round it to the nearest hundredths place because we're talking about money. So each pound is going to be $1.21 per pound. Okay, and there's no starting amount. So this is my M, but my y-intercept is 0. So this is my M, and my B, if I don't buy any, then there's no starting amount there, $0. So it's y is equal to $1.21 per pound x. Okay, so x represents the pounds. Remember on the top, this is the total. That's y is on the top. X represents pounds. You're dividing by pounds. X is the number of pounds. How much would 5 pounds cost? So what's y? What's the total if x is 5 pounds? X is going to be 5 pounds here. So we got 100, Lord, $1.21 times 5 pounds. We want to know how much 5 pounds costs. So this is going to be $1.21 times 5. And that gives us $6.05. So the total cost for 5 pounds is $6.05. Okay. Let's look at number 3. Shamari ran, or Shamir ran 6 miles in 58 minutes. Okay. So it's 6 miles. That's the total miles that goes on top. That's my Y. Divided by 58 minutes. That's my X. Okay. How do I know the difference between what's X and what's Y? Y is the total. X is usually always time. If I was to graph this, I would graph my time, my X along the x-axis, which would be the minutes, and the total miles I would graph here along the y. And that's how sometimes you can tell the difference between x and y. Which one's the independent, which one's the dependent. Your y is always depending on your x. The number of miles or total miles is dependent on how many minutes you ran. Okay? All right, so let's figure out miles per minute. Miles per minute, miles on the top, minutes on the bottom. So we're going to divide. We have 6 miles divided by 58 minutes. And that's going to give us about zero point 0.1 miles. So we traveled about 0.1 or 1/10 of a mile per minute. Okay. This is your slope. Okay. This is your slope. This is your M. Okay. Your M is equal to 0.1. All right. Your B. Your B in this case, if you don't run, your starting miles is 0. Doesn't specify, so automatically assume that the starting miles is 0. So the equation is y is equal to 0.1x. That's zero point 0.1 miles, 0.1 per mile, okay, I want to say, miles per minute, times the number of minutes here. Okay? So here it's saying how long would it take him to run a total of 10 miles. So put 10 here in its place because it's saying 10 miles. Y is the total miles. Y is on the top. So we're going to plug in 10 and solve for X. X tells us how long. That's minutes. X is minutes here. So to get X by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 0.1. So I'm going to say 10 divided by 0.1. That's a long time. That's 100 minutes. It's going to take 100 minutes to run that. Okay? All right. And if you want to figure out how many hours is that, then you're going to say 100 minutes divided by 60. But they want it in minutes, not hours. Okay, so let's look at number 4. Gia has $210 in her account. That's what she starts off with. So B is $210. Okay? She wants to save $40 per week. $40 per week is M. Okay, that's a rate. Every week you're saving $40. It's a positive 40. Until she has this much in her account, 750 in her account. Okay, so I'm going to write the equation first. The equation here is going to be y is equal to 40x plus 210. Now it's saying that the total amount in the account is 750. Oh, well, how long will it take? That's x. X is time. So you got to solve for x. The total amount is y. That's 750. So we're going to plug in 750 and solve for x. Okay? So to solve for x here, you're going to subtract 210 on both sides first. So we got 750 minus 210. That's 540. Bring down the equal. This is gone and we're left with 40x. To get x by itself, the operation between 40 and x is multiplication. So you're going to divide both sides by 40. So we got 540 divided by 40, and that gives us 13.5. So x is equal to 13.5. Remember, x is the number of weeks. So it's going to take 13.5 weeks, 13 and a half weeks. Okay? Number 5, you can buy 12 rolls of toilet paper for $12.99. So the total cost is $12.99. And you're going to divide that up by 12 to figure out how much is the cost per roll. Right? So let's type that in. Cost per roll. Remember, Y is on the top, X is on the bottom. The total cost, Y represents the total cost, X represents the number of rolls. So we got 12.99 divided by 12. And that gives us, talking about money, $1.08. Okay? I'm going to truncate, cut it off without rounding. $1.08 per roll. Remember, this is my slope. That's my M. My B, there's no starting amount. You don't see one, so it's 0. So the equation here is going to be Y is equal to $1.08 X. So the total is $1.08 times the number of rolls. Okay, so the number of rolls is 20. So we're going to substitute 20 for X and figure out what the total is, Y. So we got $1.08 times 20. So we're going to say $1.08 times 20 rolls. And that's going to give us $21.60. So this is $21.60 for 20 rolls. Okay? All right. Okay, and so now you do the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your own. If you have questions, just let me know, okay? Have a good one.